Good day, folks, and welcome to review number 46. Today we complete the trinity of the unofficial Sentai and take a closer look at the SH Figuarts Akiba Yellow. So here we have Akiba Yellow in the packaging, and again it's pretty much the same style of packaging that we found with the two other Akibarangers. You have the large clear plastic window with the figure clearly displayed. You have an image of Akiba Yellow down here in the lower right corner, and then you have a kind of a rainbow and star motif for the background of the packaging. The back of the packaging features some additional images of Akiba Yellow in some various poses. So here we have Akiba Yellow herself, and again, like the other two figures, I'm very happy with the way this turned out. Height-wise, she's about the same height as Akiba Blue, so she is a little bit shorter figure. She is a little more well-developed in some regions, though, so plastic-wise, I think that might make up for it. But as with most figure arts, it's got all the typical articulation. You've got the head and neck ball joints here. You've got the multi-jointed shoulder, double-jointed elbow, multi-jointed wrist, the multi-jointed hip there, double-jointed knee, multi-jointed ankles, toe joints here, as well as the waist and chest articulation. So, she's pretty typical figure arts. Now, one concern I did have with Akiba Blue was the way her ponytail was attached. It was a very thin piece of plastic. I don't have those concerns with Akiba Yellow's pigtails here, because the amount of plastic it's wider, and I feel like it's less likely to break off. So I do like that little improvement. There was one downside, and I know some people had this problem with Akiba Blue, but the neck joint is very loose on this figure, and her neck popped off, taking her out of the packaging the first time. So it still holds in place. It's still completely posable, so it's nothing to worry about, but it's just something you have to make sure you don't lose her head. While my other two Akibarangers figures were pretty much perfect coming out of the packaging, I do have a couple quality control issues with this figure. Mainly it looks like somebody was a little careless with a paintbrush. I've got a little dab of silver paint here on her skirt, a couple marks on her upper arm and shoulder here, and then another mark on her neck. They're not very noticeable, but they are there. But speaking of paint, one concern I had with the paint on this figure before I got it was the yellow paint, especially given my experience with the yellow paint on the Kamen Rider O's Tatoba figure. But the yellow paint did turn out very nicely. There's a few rough edges, but for yellow paint on black plastic, I think it turned out pretty good. And as with all figure arts, Akiba Yellow, of course, comes with a number of accessories here. Starting off, we've got the Moi Moi Zakun, the henshin device and or weapon. You also have a couple of billowy scarves here, depending on which way the wind's blowing. Then you have the hands over here. You have the two-finger salute here. You've got the hands used for holding the weapon, a relaxed hand, and a wide-open palm. So, not a great number of accessories, but pretty typical. Of course, as with the other two Akibarangers, the other accessory that came with Akiba Red is the Tamashi stage here. And again, this is another great accessory, almost a necessity to have with the Akibarangers figures, because of all of the dynamic poses that they're seen doing. You really need this stand to help get those poses, and I was fortunate enough that my order was early enough that I did get these stages with Akiba Red, and I would be very upset if I didn't have them. And here we go, the shot I have been waiting for. The 3 Akibarangers together. This is going to make a beautiful display on my shelf here, and it's you can't just have one of them. You need all 3 of them. They're an amazing trio, and I don't regret for a moment going for all 3 of these figures. The show was great, the character designs are great, and the Figuarts are great, and I'm glad I've got these guys. Although I have a couple quality issues with this particular figure, Akiba Yellow is a great way to top off my Akibarangers collection. Despite having a blank visor for a face, Akiba Yellow is capable of emoting through the many poses she's able to replicate. It still amazes me just how much of the character comes through in these figures. Bandai hit a home run with the Akibarangers SH Figuarts, and I would recommend them to anyone that's a fan of the show or of Sentai in general. These guys have definitely earned themselves a prominent display in my collection.